and gentlemen, welcome back to the 50-50 Take It or Leave It podcast. And today we're talking about sports.
Yes.
Something I don't do all the time, or even most of the time, but I watch a lot of the time. And you guys watch a lot of the time too,
I
right?
love watching sports.
Yes.
Sports.
Yes.
Sports.
We talk about sports. We talk about D&D. We go over Critical Role, some of our favorite classes we want to play. And then a little bit of the recap over Project Deicide.
Yes.
All that and
I'm
more
excited.
right now. Jumping straight into it, sports.
Yes.
The balls and the goals.
All right,
and
I feel
the
like y'all are
running.
trashing sports right now.
I'm not trashing sports. Sports are exciting. I actually do like sports.
I like sports.
You guys got a favorite?
Yeah, I got.
Yes.
I got some.
All right.
Mitch, would you like? I mean,
It's
that's
up to
we
you.
can
the
go first. We can
the
go
sports
first.
connoisseur. You know.
Yep.
You are a bit of a sports connoisseur.
I would say I'm out of the three of us. I feel like I'm the diehard sports fanatic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fanatic.
Fanatic.
All right.
Fanatic.
Okay.
Just
Anyways.
give us their favorite sport, please.
So actually, I have a funny story. I have a funny story to go along with this.
All right.
So I'll start off. Favorite sport is football.
Okay.
Very good choice. Solid choice.
Yeah. I like baseball if I'm watching it in the arena. Watching it on TV sucks. I'm gonna
all the baseball fans
Baseball
were,
on TV
You know,
does kind of.
It's a snooze fest.
I've been to one Twins game in like 2009 for my birthday. Wasn't too bad. I think we left after before the game ended because we were like, they're gonna win anyway, so
Yeah.
time to go. But
Well, it's great, like being in a ballpark. Once you're 21, you drink a $9
That's
beer.
fair.
You eat a $7 hot
$9 beer.
a $9 beer.
I just take a water. Oh wait, the water is like $5.
Yeah, so it's not much better.
rather
Oh
not.
man, I
Yeah.
kind of like the consumer in me is like that sucks, and the capitalist in me is like that's awesome.
That's good money.
Conflicting opinions.
Money
I
maker
know,
right
right?
here. Yeah.
I was like, dang, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where are they gonna go? Outside? Yeah, no.
No, can't get back in. Haha.
Exactly.
No, it's baseball is a good experience. I do like baseball. I like the Twins. But for football, I actually used to hate football. I used to spend a lot of time with my great grandma, and she used to think that football was the worst because there was so much contact. And I mean, you can get a lot of concussions from
That's true.
football, and it's really bad for your health.
Has she seen rugby?
Rugby is
I'm
way
assu-
more high
Rugby
contact.
is significantly worse than football.
I'm assuming she has. It just never brought it up to me because she didn't want me to see it at all. Eventually, I was
Okay.
going to see it, but
Right.
we had a lot of family that played football, and I just never got into it as a kid. Like, I've never played a actual organized snap of football. Like, I played football at like Thanksgiving and stuff,
Yeah, like messing around.
Yeah.
but never like 12 or 11 man,
No scoreboard.
no scoreboard, no refs, none of that.
Yeah.
Never played.
Okay.
But I would say I'm pretty knowledgeable on the sport. I can't tell you about the emotions that go into it. I can kind of tell secondhand, but not.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what a locker room atmosphere is like because I've never been in one.
Mhm.
But what happened was, and the reason why I love football so much is because when, oh gosh, I should remember this day, or not day, but when I got diagnosed.
Oh, with the
When I
with
got
the-
diagnosed-
That's not where I thought the story was
I was
going.
like,
Oh,
what
really?
are you,
Where do you guys think it was
what are you
going?
Talking about,
Like
bruh?
talking about the locker room and
Oh,
then,
no,
like,
no, no.
After that day,
I should remember. Yeah, after that day, and I was like,
Sorry. No.
Is he like? Is something about to like come out on the
No,
podcast?
no,
Or,
no,
PE
no.
teacher, my coach, like,
Ooh,
You're my teacher. You're my coach. What are you doing?
what are you doing?
big oof. No. After
That's just big. Ooh,
my
butt
face
ass.
is red right now.
Why did you hesitate on the word big, Mitch?
Mm-hmm.
You hesitated.
That's
there
a
was like a
huge
little
oof.
catch in your voice.
Yeah, I know. Anyways,
Kind of sus. Hey,
Kinda sus.
Kind of sus.
Ah, got him.
anyway, after getting diagnosed with diabetes, there was only one starting NFL quarterback that, and I was like getting into football. I started watching football with my neighbor, and he was a big Chiefs fan. I thought about liking the Chiefs, and then I got diagnosed, and the Bears quarterback, Jay Cutler, he's a type 1 diabetic, if you didn't know that. He's a shitty quarterback, but he does have diabetes.
I was gonna say like, so the reason you didn't choose the Chiefs was because you had diabetes.
Or the Vikings.
Oh, because I was gonna be like, I don't know if that's a good reason to say I don't like this team because I have diabetes.
No, I chose the Bears because their
Their quarterback has it.
had diabetes. Yeah, and
Yeah.
also my
Alright.
my grandpa, he has. My grandpa or grandma, I have family that lives around Chicago, and my grandpa and my uncles are also Bears fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Runs
it
in the
kind of
Easy to
family.
get into then.
easy to
Yeah. Fair.
easy to get into. So that's so kind of rolling. My favorite sport is football, and my favorite team are the Chicago Bears. I like the Huskers. I like the Twins.
Yeah.
I'm not. I like filming basketball.
about the Timberwolves?
Yeah, the Lynx.
I don't like I said, I don't like watching I'm not a basketball fan. I just like filming. Filming basketball is great.
I
It's
will not
awesome.
lie though, even if I don't watch basketball as much, seeing someone get absolutely dunked on,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
always get, or someone getting crossed up, their ankles broke on the court.
That is
I
nice.
I love the Fortnite one where like he
Yeah.
like just does that something like he like dives into the and
Yeah.
all this loot like pops out. I love
like
it.
that. That's just
love
good
it.
stuff. I don't watch basketball as much, but like
I
when
don't
those
either.
when those things happen, it's pretty funny.
I want to watch basketball more. I feel like I'd enjoy it, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
just don't watch
When
it.
I did stuff for camera work and whatnot, I was all about it. I was just like, yo, this is kind of, it's high octane. Like football
Right.
is too. It's just with basketball, it's like it didn't seem like it stopped. Like with football, obviously you go through the play, you
get a break.
You get a break.
Your viewers getting a break.
Yeah,
of that 30
basketball it's
seconds.
just like, I made the shot, we're passing it back in, run down the court, run down the court, run down the court.
Yeah.
It's just high, and then someone gets dunked on at the end of it, crowd going wild. It's just a sense of energy to it. Like even
Yeah.
win or lose, like put some respect on someone's name when they dunk on you or something, you know?
Yeah. Basketball is kind of on the same field as hockey for me, where it's like I appreciate filming it and doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a hard time getting into it.
Is WWE a sport?
It's sports entertainment.
Yes, Mitch. Why are you putting your hand on your face?
It's weird. It's a weird thing.
It takes athleticism, but WWE is much more focused on the show,
The
Yeah.
showmanship.
the showmanship, the acting, and I'm not trying to discredit WWE, but
Mm.
like
I mean, Vince McMahon himself, the owner of WWE, for people who don't know, has said that he considers it to be sports entertainment. I mean, they changed their name from World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment. So they're going more for like, it's all flash, you know? It's like, yeah, they're obviously going through a lot, especially back in like the early 2000s when people would just smack each other in the face with a chair, you know? Or they'd go through a table and they'd
Yes.
start cutting their head open with a blade and like, you know, get real hardcore with it.
Yes.
But, you know, that was when they were still considered like, this is raw action. And now they have to tweak things too because they're now more for like the PG era and everything, which we've kind of passed at this point because now they're more like, okay, we'll take a little more leniency.
yeah.
There are some intriguing stuff
What
in
happened
there.
to The Rock, man?
The Rock's doing his thing as Black Adam now.
I know.
He's vibing, being a movie star, getting paid.
God, do you remember when he was in the WWE scene?
Dude,
I
peak.
I tried
That was
Peak.
That
It
was peak.
It was good.
I tried getting into WWE for like 2 weeks and I just couldn't do it.
When? When was this?
Yeah, when?
When was this?
When I was like 13. Like
2012, 11?
2011.
Dude, you missed out.
You did.
Like, you
That's
got
not the time to get in.
you need
That's
to
the time to get out.
That's,
Okay, well, I got in and then I got out.
you want to get you have to watch stuff from
entered
like
and
the
I turned around and
90s
left.
Yeah.
all the way
yeah.
to maybe mid 2000s, like around 2006.
Yeah, I would say 2007, 2008
that's-
maybe is like your cutoff.
That's good stuff. It's after like 2009,
I mean, I
2010
like John
when they started
Cena.
being, well, everyone likes John Cena.
yeah, yeah.
Like, come on. Everybody likes
This is
him.
also my brother has been in like organized wrestling
yeah,
since
so,
he was like 5.
So you've seen what real wrestling is, and then you look
Yeah.
at the stuff on TV, and you're like, that's not the same.
No.
All right. Here's my question. All right. So you guys say that it's not really a sport.
I would
When
say,
I say Stone Cold,
yep,
Steve Austin.
yeah.
if it has that, and you don't watch WWE,
Yeah.
It has that,
it has.
dude.
If it has that much of a clout attached to it, it has to be a sport.
I mean, It's
Yeah,
a
or
spectacle.
sport adjacent.
You could argue that about you can quote movies all the time.
Like you look at big events too.
It's not a movie though.
It's not.
We're
Like,
talking about sports.
think about this.
Yeah, I
all right?
know.
Some of
And
the,
if there's okay,
I feel like you're making a movie reference though.
no.
no, this is
Okay,
this
let,
is-
let me give him. I say
you do. You can't see me.
Tony.
Oh no!
See, I think of Gonzalez.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
But
Wow.
in regards to sports,
In
Mitchell.
regards to sports,
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Montana,
What? You guys both said different. I was thinking Romo.
Tony Romo as
Tony
well.
Romo.
That's all-
Oh,
Also-
really?
That's also
Yeah.
the same. Yeah.
That's who I think of when I hear Tony and
That's
like,
true.
sports.
I think of Gonzalez. Tony.
Really?
I
He was
mean,
the
the
tight end.
pistachio guy.
Okay.
He does commercials for pistachio.
Okay. For the long. Okay. He holds a ton of records.
No.
Kyle.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a great tight end. What
Yeah,
are you talking
I'm
about?
I'm just saying now.
Don't get me started.
Now he's the pistachio guy. I saw him on a commercial.
Yes, and Brett Favre is the
And
Wrangler.
the Wranglers dude. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how
you-
we know them now. Yeah. They showed off his little number and his name at Lambeau Field, and they should have had like hung over a pair of Wrangler jeans
They
over it.
And the copper fit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
and then like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
right?
True.
Who's the sports guy for that?
Yep.
Well, it used to be Aaron Rodgers.
Peyton Manning,
Patrick
Oh,
Mahomes.
right?
Actually,
Isn't that Peyton Manning?
Manning does nationwide. He
Oh,
does it-
Nationwide.
He does it with
that's right.
Brad Paisley now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Sorry.
Patrick Mahomes does State Farm stuff with Aaron,
Yeah.
and
I can't believe I
Baker
don't know that
Mayfield
right.
does
Whoops.
what does Baker Mayfield do?
Hulu.
Hulu.
Hulu has live sports.
Yeah.
That's the one. So,
There it is.
but yeah,
Do you know how much they charge for Hulu Live?
How much?
like
$70?
It's a lot.
$70 a month. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Like,
Nope.
well, actually, there's like Hulu with live TV with ads, $60, like $55 to $60.
Oh wow.
Without ads, $70. That's a lot of money.
A month?
A month.
A month.
A month. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Anyway, getting back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Is
I
football
do.
your favorite?
I do mess with football. However, it is not my favorite sport.
Basketball.
It is not my favorite sport.
What?
I know what it is. I'm not gonna say it though.
Is it hockey?
It is not hockey.
Oh.
It's something pretty uncommon to have as a favorite sport.
Okay, it's not soccer, right?
It is not.
No,
it has
that's,
good
that's,
guess.
that's-
It has
well, it's the
nothing-
most popular.
it has nothing to
worldwide
do
football, but.
with a ball or a goal.
All right, hit me with it.
It's like, well, let's see.
Is it curling?
No.
That'd be funny.
It's UFC stuff.
Oh, all
I
right.
mess with. All in all, I'm a combat sports fan. So like, we do UFC, boxing, wrestling.
Who was the actor that got laid out the other day by Jake Paul?
The ex NBA player Nate Robinson.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rip him, bro.
Yeah, he got.
I heard that was
Second round or
both.
something.
Yeah, he got knocked down.
I heard it was
once.
8 punches.
He got
He
knocked.
got knocked out.
Yeah,
He
in
got
8
knocked out.
punches.
He got knocked down once in the first round, knocked down twice in the second. He was out cold,
He was out.
and people were not happy. Oh, honestly, the match sucked, and then it was also supposed to be the undercard for the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight, which came up after that, and that match ended in a draw. So all in all, the night sucked because we were like, but I will put respect
It
on Mike
ended in a
Tyson's
draw?
Yeah, it ended in a tie. The biggest fight ended in a tie. And I will say this though, Mike Tyson did do some work. Like at his age, he's still like at his like
Can he
he's
still
still
bite
doing
off
pretty
ears?
good. Yeah, he's not biting off ears, but he can definitely throw. He can definitely throw some nice body shots.
He's got
and they
some
hurt.
pretty tigers.
Yeah, he does. But the fights were not that great.
Mike Tyson is a beast.
He is.
At his age,
Have-
dude. That's
I
what you
mean-
were saying, but I mean, like, yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about it. You're right.
He's
at his
old.
age.
Yeah.
He still like can hit you, and you would probably go out like Nate Robinson did. Like you're going to sleep.
There was
it's
some-
night time
Yeah.
for you.
There was something I was listening or watching, and they were interviewing Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, when he fights, it's terrible on his family life. Like he's aggressive and mean and just in a pissed mood.
I mean,
all
you're-
the
gotta be.
time.
You're a
you have
boxer.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be. But he's like, yeah, my family was pretty happy when I said I was done fighting. Now I'm doing it again. They're not.
They're
I
not
mean,
happy.
he's not.
They're not happy
I
about
don't-
it.
Yeah, I mean, boxing is an
Dude,
aggressive.
he's a
sport.
beast.
Yeah.
He
That's,
is a
that's
be-
what Mike Tyson is.
he's a
He's a,
baller.
beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And to go a little more specific into what a favorite combat sport would be, I was a avid like wrestling fan way back,
Like,
okay.
like WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
That's why I like love it so much, and that's okay, man. I mean, everyone has their own opinions. Like I
Right.
kind of fell off for a while because it's like it just wasn't hitting as good. I mean, I found more like there's other promotions and stuff. Like I watch a lot of Japanese stuff.
Do you like kickboxing?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Like
MMA then?
yeah.
Big MMA?
Yeah, I've messed with MMA. Like I would be down. Like one of the things I want to do when I get out of college is either, and this is kind of it's a weird spectrum, but I either cast esports or I'm calling combat sports. That's where I'm
calling combat sports would be fun.
Hearing, and we can iconic commentary teams for both UFC and like WWE. Like on WWE, you had JR, Jim Ross, and all them, and they were like they had like these quotes and everything, and I was just like I mess with that. And then on UFC, you had fucking Joe Rogan and Jeff Goldblum, and it's like it's good. And I was just like, dang, dude, I want to do that. Like that's good. And now it's even now.
Jeff Goldblum?
I did, but I think I meant to say Michael Goldberg. It's some anyway.
I was like
to breeze past it.
All right.
I do.
Let's say, do you have a favorite fighter?
There's so
From
many. For UFC, I mean,
I know that's hard to choose.
There's quite a bit. I mean,
there's some monsters.
There are some absolute
in combat sports.
I would have to.
Uncle Iroh.
I swear on my life, I cannot pronounce this man's last name, but you could probably just look up Khabib on Google, and you could see him. The man has gone 29-0 and undefeated, the undisputed, one of the best fighters on the planet. And this man, on his final match, because his father like passed right before the match started, and he dedicated this fight to his dad, and then he won, and he was like, I'm done. I'm retiring. I every match that I've ever had,
quit while you're on top.
Yeah, it's like every match that I've ever had, my dad was there for me. Now that he's gone, I'm done. And I was like, dude, that's a real one. And he can back it up. It's not like he's like, oh yeah, like screw him. No, this man has gone 29-0. He's the best fighter on the planet.
The interns are showing me the last name, and I'm not gonna.
It's like Nurmagomedov. It's a long.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, it's a long one, but he's my favorite fighter. Like his fights are magnifique. Like that, it's just good. On the wrestling side, WWE stuff, that's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, Undertaker retired not too long ago, and I might have to put it up to him because he's
the Undertaker.
He's the Undertaker. I mean, this man has been in the business for 30 years. I have to give him respect. The fact that he can, and I get it's like
Undertaker is probably gonna be the one.
I get it's all like staged and everything, but the man has kept that same character for 30 years.
Yeah.
Even when he did that weird like twist where it's like I'm a biker now, and I ride motorcycles out to the ring to the sound of Limp Bizkit. He's still known as the Undertaker, and I was like, this dude is he's just cool. And the fact that he can just make people think like, yes, this man is a legitimate dead man for 30 years. I was like, I got to give it up to him. And now he's retired, and I'm like, I feel old.
Right.
Wrestling is great. But yeah.
Agreed.
Combat sports, definitely the big one for me. I mean, it's not the fact like, oh, people are getting their fucking face punched in by another guy. I mean, that's kind of a little bit.
Yeah, you like that a little
bit.
But
there's also just that spectacle. And we were talking about wrestling before, but like WrestleMania is like the biggest sporting event ever. I mean, you got the Super Bowl. That's also big. Like it's up there with like big.
I would say the Super Bowl is probably the biggest sporting
for sure.
Event.
But I say WrestleMania
or the Olympics.
But that only comes every 4 years. Like it's not annual.
Every year.
Like you think of like annual sporting events.
Yep.
People watch the Super Bowl.
Cup, but
By the way, I get that American football is like just for America, but like no other like countries like have football. Like
I don't know. I think
we do.
I think it's no. I know sometimes the NFL goes to like London,
right?
Which is like that's
weird.
But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It is weird that the U.S. is the only one that really has organized like
football.
Organizations that support. Like Canada does. Canada has the CFL.
Okay.
Yep.
The Canadian Football League, but
that's it.
That's it.
Really? Yeah. Everyone else does soccer because that's just a universal sport. Like.
Well, yeah.
Everybody.
I guess.
Mostly.
And I like
yeah.
Football like in that sense and soccer in the sense of soccer. But
yeah.
They're full of a bunch of prima donnas. I'm gonna say it. They're sissies in soccer. They're all sissies.
Oh, there's some sissies in American football too.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot more in soccer.
I mean, soccer.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
there
you-
are literal rules for just flopping, so you can sell being hit, and you don't even need to get hit, but you have to sell it so people can get penalized.
Yeah.
So it's like
I will say
It's-
when you
yeah.
break down the play mechanics of soccer, it's really interesting. And I think that's why I'm such a sports nerd. When you break down play like design and like trying to make offensive defense go at it, it's
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
oh, yeah, I
And when
love
you-
the technical strategic aspect of it. It's just
I-
when a game goes 0-0
forever.
forever.
Right.
Thank you. But one thing I was gonna get to off
Yeah.
the combat sports, that's the one thing I do like. There's like not a lot of padding. It's
No.
two beasts that you
Just
throw
that-
into
just-
a
Yep.
ring and you see who wins.
And honestly,
And I love it.
like the build-ups for fights are also nice.
Yeah.
Even if, and this sometimes kind of makes me a little upset, but when you get to the big build-up, the fight happens and it ends in 30 seconds, and I'm like,
But
Well,
sometimes
let me-
that's the
though, it's
best.
just like,
Like,
yeah,
Let me
sometimes
propose
it's
the
like,
question. Would you
yeah.
rather have a fight that lasts 30 seconds or go all eight rounds? It doesn't necessarily have to end in
It
a tie.
depends. It
but it's
depends.
just
It
piss,
does.
piss poor 8 rounds.
it also depends on who
That's
you're
true.
rooting for with the 30 seconds.
That's true.
Because the
'Cause-
guy you're rooting for just like one,
yeah.
one taps him
Yeah.
and then he's just out,
Yeah,
and everybody's like,
silence.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
What was the
pretty
fight
satisfying.
3 years ago? It was.
Talking about Mayweather versus McGregor.
There you go.
Yeah, that one was. They definitely know how to build up a fight.
I was gonna say that fight was really built up.
There was a lot of build up.
And
but
I heard
like,
it was
what do
a-
you think of the fight?
You know,
Exactly.
where
I heard it was pretty piss poor.
Yeah.
It was. It was also just like you had a guy who was made to fight in a 4-sided ring, who uses punches, taking on a guy who uses 8 sides in a ring, legs, hands, grappling, submissions, and then you take that guy and restrict him to just punching. It's not great. Now
Yeah.
the same can be said about putting Floyd in the octagon against Conor McGregor, because then Conor's gonna win because that's his element. So
Yeah.
it's not fair. It's
Yeah.
just like even in WWE when Floyd took on the Big Show, it was like, okay, but even that's still a little. That makes more sense than putting the MMA guy into a boxing ring, because it's just
Yeah.
like,
I'm nodding for the folks at home, by
yeah,
the
it's
way.
just like
Yeah.
it's just two guys punching each other. But you basically took away all of Conor McGregor's stuff and then said fight Floyd in a boxing ring. Of course, Floyd's gonna be like, "Yeah, I beat him." It's like what do you mean? Of course he's gonna beat him. It's so stupid. But if this
Well
was a
said.
legitimate street fight, that's tougher because there are no restrictions in a street fight.
Yeah.
Just do what you gotta do. I mean, Floyd is a good fighter, but Conor just uses his body more. I would probably give it to Conor just because he has more he just knows what he got the
Yeah,
full body
dude.
attack. He just
Have you seen those thighs, bro? He's
he,
built.
He walks,
Watermelon
he does
crusher.
that. He does that strut for a reason.
Yeah.
He's confident. He's kind of an asshole.
Yep.
Yeah.
He talks sometimes he talks a lot of stuff and then he gets knocked out and
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Sometimes you talk a big game.
He talks a very big game and then one of the Diaz brothers
sometimes-
just beats his butt and then he comes back and beats them. So it's
I
kind
was
of
gonna
like,
say
he-
it's a
he
back
wins.
and forth.
Yeah,
like
he wins. He does win some matches. I heard he's coming back at some point. I mean,
I thought he was.
yeah, like
I mean, Tyson just came out of retirement, so
Anything
when
can
a
happen.
fighter retires, it's not really. It's like a,
Yeah.
I'll see you later, not a farewell.
yeah, it's just like I'm taking a break. I'll be back. Don't worry. Someone call me out on Twitter.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
respond. Yeah, but
Yeah.
definitely,
Did you have a favorite sport out of combat sports?
I've been a diehard wrestling fan since a kid. I'd probably go with wrestling.
Okay.
There's WWE is the biggest one, obviously, but there are so many other promotions out there that I believe are like kind of better. You can go to like AEW, New Japan, maybe not Ring of Honor. That kind of fell off for a while. But there's just a lot of like even international stuff. Like as I said, New Japan. That's like when you think about WWE, that's like big too. But New Japan is the WWE of like Japan, Asia, and like everything. If you didn't like WWE, you'd probably like New Japan.
Hmm.
And they hit hard. Like they don't care. Like that's hard, like shoot style fighting. They hit for real. Like this isn't like they're using glass tubes on people and they crash them. They do
Really?
yeah. They have like death matches where they have like barbed wire ropes sometimes.
Wow.
It's
hardcore.
a different beast.
It's a different beast. Like they're just like, man, we're wrestlers. Let's fight. Like,
Dang.
That's the knuckle-like thing. Some people come out with like teeth missing, like broken ribs and stuff.
There are some scary people in Japan.
Frightening people,
like,
dude.
I think his name's Minoru Suzuki or something like that. He has like some.
Yeah,
Matt has
I
no
don't know
idea.
names.
I know,
when
but
it comes to names,
he has like this grimace on his face that makes you think he's gonna kill me. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, there are some scary people.
See, but I can also get behind that.
Yeah,
Like, I really can.
it's legit.
Yeah. Like,
It's not. I if I could at this time if I could go to Japan and watch a show, I would. Like, I would. It's one of the reasons why I want to go to Japan. Is just to go and watch a New Japan like pro wrestling show. Obviously, get some merch too. Gotta get the drip up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Eat some
definitely,
sushi.
gotta hit up the dome real quick. And
would you go to the? Well, that'd be more of a question for you then. Would you go to like the? Is it a Pokemon museum?
they
that what it is?
They have a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
dude.
I would go to everything Pokemon Go. Just Pokemon. Just-
Toho has like a Godzilla exhibit, and I would go to that.
There's like some Gundam stuff, anime stuff. There's
Yeah?
a lot. There is a lot.
Of course there is.
There-
Yeah.
There
what
was
am I saying?
someone
course
went
there
on a tour in Japan and like went into like these like capsule hotels where basically it's real quiet when you go in, and it's just like it's like you're in a capsule basically. Like you go in there, you open and you sleep in a
videos.
bed,
Yep.
and it's like a little pod. And I'm just like, people pay money to be here. Like they got some weird stuff, but it's cool to be like, I went here and I tried it,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed it, and I feel like I would really enjoy it. Plus the scenery
Oh,
it's good.
that Japanese
If I have
aesthetic,
if I have the money,
secretly mess with that.
just
a little
don't
bit. I'm like,
if you go to Japan, just cover up your tattoos. That's all I gotta say. Tattoos are illegal, so
Really?
Oh.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. If you have tattoos in Japan, that's illegal, because tattoos usually mean you're a criminal. Because only criminals have
For-
tattoos, like
yep.
Yakuza,
Yakuza.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's on the back though.
On the
right?
back, especially on the back. The
Right.
bigger the tattoo, I'm pretty sure it's bigger the offense. Like tattoos are just
Whoa.
they're just considered not
Bad.
good. So if you do go, just cover them up. Just don't show any like, hey, look at this tattoo I got, because next thing you know, you're gonna be spending time in the jail for a couple of days, and that's really gonna suck. But yeah, for sure. So I suppose, Matt.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna say.
do you have a favorite team
Oh well, can
or
you really
favorite
give us
fighter?
Yeah, I was gonna say. If I had to go with
Or were you saying your favorite fighter? Is that your favorite fighter, or is it
yeah,
just like his
Khabib.
aesthetic
Khabib
that
is for
you like?
UFC,
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
and then I
My
said
bad.
Undertaker for WWE. I
Alright.
kind of had a little bit of both.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, what's your
What we got for your favorite sport, team, player,
Favorite sports?
Yeah.
Like in general, out of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
any sport?
I can appreciate soccer, football.
Yep.
Worldwide because it reaches so far.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay.
The players, you
True.
know,
Right.
I already spoke my piece on that.
Yeah.
Hockey, I love the fights, but like the actual like game, like it takes a lot of skill. Like
It's
any
similar.
sport.
It's similar to soccer in that regard,
Yeah.
where it's
It's a lot of back and forth.
But when
Sometimes
the
something-
fights break out,
Yeah.
people break their hands and still are throwing punches in hockey. And
when
I'm
they
like,
get when they
yes.
slam against like the plexiglass.
Oof.
I mean, when
like-
actual like the fights break out.
Yeah, yeah,
though.
no,
and then the
they-
refs will like sit back for a minute and then they'll get in.
Yep.
Yeah, the
And that's
gloves
what I
come off,
love.
The sticks go down, the gloves come off,
yeah.
and they're just like, let's.
And
Yeah,
they're kind of
let's
like
get it
they're
over
just
with.
slow glide of like
the
you get that slow
glide,
glide,
and then- yeah.
and then they go.
Yeah. Yeah,
I-
combat,
See?
it's combat sports and soccer put into one on ice. That's
Really?
basically all it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What-
So
Well,
what's-
those
so
are
what's-
sports you don't
So
necessarily.
what's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
number
but-
one though?
Number
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, what's your sport? What's the sport that you
gotta
really
be
like?
football. It's gotta be football.
Yeah.
It's always football.
Football is
For
I,
real.
like if I didn't like combat sports, it's definitely football for me because like
It's okay. It has a good mix of physicality
yep
that you see that really on a defensive side, where just real physical athletes just manhandling people.
yeah
You have the drama a little bit with wide receivers,
Teams and rivalries too.
teams and rivalries
Yeah.
too, and along with
there's stories
specific players
there's
and
stories you can tell on there.
Oh, I mean, when you have I'm not saying like 1920 is super old, but every time I watch a Bears Packers game and they talk about
Like their history.
the history of it, I get goosebumps every time. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how many times they tell me that story. I'm just like, ooh, I love this
Because
story.
I like the spectacle and the story that you can tell behind the game. Like, there's
Yeah.
also a lot of stuff that can happen. Like, the game is literally up in the air. Like,
It's
anyone
a bit
can
of
win.
a chess match.
Yeah, anyone can really win.
It's,
and
it's
it's
not
all,
simple.
yeah, and it can really change on the flip of a coin. Like
Oh, that is the thing too, because no team is really like
The
bounds
best.
better than others. Like you have better put together teams sometimes.
yeah, but sometimes they fall apart, and the other team can
Yeah.
just come up
Yeah.
and win.
Exactly.
Like, a
It's
nice,
also a headspace too when you're
Oh,
playing
yes.
football.
yeah.
Because you have at halftime, they go into the locker room, they have their little chats. Sometimes if your head's not in the game, it
I
can turn
remem-
around on you.
I remember
Yeah.
the Super Bowl in the Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
When it was a Harbaugh Bowl. It was the 49ers versus the Ravens.
Yeah.
The lights went out, so they had to stop for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it flipped the game. I think the 49ers
They just dropped. Didn't they drop it? Like
the 49ers were doing really well.
Yeah,
and
they
it
were
looked
crushing
like
it.
they were going to smack the Ravens around, just
Yeah.
kind of like beat the shit out of them.
yeah, and then they
And then the lights went out, and it flipped, and the Ravens just got this whole new amount of energy. I think,
They
who
had a
was
45-minute power nap.
yeah,
Dude,
pretty
like,
much.
honestly.
One of the kick returner had a 104-yard return to start like after the lights went out. It was nuts. It was a great Super Bowl.
yeah.
Like
It's gonna go down in history as one of the greatest.
I don't
If- I
remember
mean, as-
which Super Bowl it was. There was one that I watched. I can't remember for the life of me when it was because I was a kid.
Yeah.
okay.
I should go back through it and I should really just rewatch most of the Super Bowl.
I used to have a VHS tape
Yeah.
that would show Super Bowl 1 through Super Bowl 20, which surprisingly was the 85 Chicago Bears when they won it. Which was
Nice.
always great. It was a great
Just
way.
fate.
I used to fall
Well,
asleep
saving the
to that
best for
movie.
last.
Because it was only like a half hour long. I was like, it's time to go to bed now. I know who wins this one.
Really? It's only they comprised 20 Super Bowls in 30 minutes. Was
Yeah.
it just like the game highlights from every game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you were talking about the games. I was like,
I was like,
what?
No,
Super Bowl 1 to
just
20.
highlights. Okay.
That's a while. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot of time on a VHS.
So football favorite.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My favorite team hasn't ever made it to the Super Bowl, or they made it to the Super Bowl.
But they just never
They've
won the
never
Super Bowl.
won.
Who was the team though?
The Vikings.
I mean, can I just say though, the Vikings, they have their moments, especially back in the day.
They do.
Oh my! When you had
Purple
AP,
people eaters.
oh,
Purple people eaters, dude. They're stout defense. They still have a not this season, but
Not
just
this season.
historically, you guys have a really good defense. You're known for your running AP.
yeah.
You guys.
Even when Randy
you
Moss
guys-
was on the team,
yeah,
and
you
he did
drafted
work
Randy
too.
Moss,
And
dude.
he did pretty good.
Not good enough.
Not
No,
good enough.
Never good enough.
Oh, never. It's okay. You're better than the Lions.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is it AFC or NFC?
NFC.
It's
NFC is a
That's what I was.
Powerhouse.
That's the vibe that I was getting
that's
from you
NFC.
guys.
Like AFC,
Seattle.
they got some.
49ers.
they got some-
Even the Cowboys back in the day.
Well, Cowboys still are pretty all right. Not lately.
They're-
Not lately.
They're not. They're not.
Not
at the-
lately.
They're not
They
the
have a-
peak.
they ha-
They got some things
They have a
going.
trash. Okay, you think about it. The NFC has one trash division and then 3 stacked divisions, like 3 or 4 every season. Normally, the NFC North is like a real battleground. NFC West a real battleground.
It's the South.
NFC East is trash. NFC South battleground.
It's not trash. There's just one team that cleans house.
It's just one team that does better than most
The NFC East,
in the NFC East.
Am I thinking the AFC East?
Patriots in the AFC East.
Fuck.
It's all good.
I was thinking the AFC. Damn it.
Damn.
Normally, and that's what I'm saying. Like in the AFC, you have 1, maybe 2 divisions that are like competitive. Otherwise, the rest of them are like clear winner, clear winner, clear winner.
Yeah.
You're battling for wild card spots, and you are too in the NFC, but
dude.
more so. You're like, who's
Yeah.
gonna get the or who's gonna win the division, and then what's gonna happen? Who's gonna make that fall back into the wild card spot, and then who are they gonna play? It's just more like up in the air, and it's like great.
Looking at
Where
the
AFC,
AFC,
it's like,
AFC is like who's gonna make it guaranteed. It's really just a matter of who's gonna get that wild card spot.
Broncos,
Maybe a bye.
Patriots,
Yeah. It's
Chiefs now, but
Chiefs. Yeah, they kind of.
What about the Ravens?
The Ravens.
They're always competitive.
they are.
yeah, they're
They
there.
are in a tougher
Yeah.
division. The AFC North is a tough division because you have the Steelers, you have the Ravens, the Browns.
The Browns are the Browns.
Well, okay, maybe their division isn't as tough as I make it out to be.
The division
I was
is very
like- I was
tough.
like-
The Browns.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like, wait a minute, what am I saying? What am I saying? The Browns and the Bengals, they're trash.
Yeah.
The trash,
Yeah.
man.
Honestly, when people think
but I mean,
like
yeah,
favorite
anyway,
teams
anyway,
too,
keep
like
going,
favorite
sorry.
teams too. Like if you ask people their favorite teams, it's usually in the NFC. Like it's a lot of NFC teams. Like, oh, I really like Packers, Vikings, Even I mean, you got the weird one where you're like the Lions, and you're like, huh? Repeat the what?
I do know somebody that is a Lions fan, and I just love giving
sorry
them.
for them.
Yeah, I know. I love giving them shit every
Hey.
time.
You know which
They ain't
team
a Jets
I
fan.
used to like?
What?
I used to like the Chargers.
That underrated
Yeah.
organization that was close once. Just they're not the Jacksonville like. Oh crap! What's another one? I would not the Texans. I'd say they're on pace with the Texans. Where like they weren't one of the original teams founded, but like they're a branch out team
Yeah.
that has had some success. They're not complete trash like Jacksonville.
They're not the best team
They're not
in the
the
league,
best.
but they're not the
But
worst.
as a kid, I just liked them.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this
I
team.
like them.
See,
like
like my
them.
neighbors were a Chargers fan. My other neighbor, so I had Chiefs. One neighbor was a Chiefs fan. The other neighbor was Chargers fan.
Okay.
And I didn't, and I had already liked the Twins before this, so I didn't want to completely copy him. I'm like, I don't want to copy you.
I don't want to be.
I don't want to try to be like I'm being you. That'd be dumb.
Right.
Although I like Antonio Gates a lot. That's a hell of a tight end.
He is pretty good.
He like stopped playing just last season. He's been playing since like 2000.
Yeah, I mean,
Old
19
dude.
years.
You're getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't like.
I will
Isn't like 35 to like maybe even 30 like maybe your cutoff point at that point? Unless you're like a quarterback, then you can be like there for a little longer. But
See, but then if you get sacked and it's bad,
yeah,
You're Dunsky.
you're done.
Yeah.
Not everyone's Peyton Manning.
but not everyone's Peyton
True.
Manning. Yeah, but it's just like it depends on what position I guess that you play in terms of like what age.
But how
is
long did
best.
Favre stay in for?
Favre was there till he was?
He was in his 40s, wasn't he?
He
Yeah.
was old. Like when he was in the
He was
Vikings.
old.
Yeah, he was old.
Yeah, but yeah, as a
It was time to get out.
yeah, I think wasn't his. Yeah, he went to the Vikings for a while.
Yeah.
And people were like,
So he
"This is
retired from
weird."
Green Bay,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then he went to the Jets for a little while,
Oh.
and then he retired again,
Oh.
and then he went to the Vikings.
Goodness gracious!
Yeah.
And
I'm
then
Everyone-
nodding, by the way, for everybody.
And he
Everyone
did his
forgets
thing.
about the little stints in New York that he had.
that was a weird time.
I think it was like, oh gosh, I want to say like 6 weeks. It wasn't even full season. It was bad. He was like, oh god, I gotta get out of here.
I hate this team. I thought maybe, but I guess I have to go to the enemy.
The
I have
Vikings.
to go to the Vikings.
How do you?
How
That's
do you
so funny.
yeah.
As
How
a
do you,
Bears
a
fan, I
Minnesotan-
appreciate that a lot.
a Minnesota like Vikings fan? You know, you hate the fucking Packers, and then all of a sudden you watch the sports news network, and they're like, hey, so Brett Favre, Packers quarterback, is now signed to the Vikings to play as their quarterback.
It's like Big Ben signing with Cleveland or Baltimore.
It's just it's out of
It's
the blue, and
like-
it's so weird because even when he was on the team, it was like, I don't really like seeing the number 4 in purple and yellow. It's just a weird.
It's like Brady going and signing with the Broncos.
I was gonna
It's
say
just-
the Buccaneers. Like that
no,
happened already.
no.
like that's already happened.
That has happened. In this reality, that happened.
in this
In a
timeline.
different reality, he went and signed with Denver, and they're winning so many Super Bowls.
Oh my God! If he signed with Denver, we entered the darkest timeline.
I just take a knee at that point.
Yep, I'm done. I
Just
re-
run out the clock. You
I
have to know when
concede.
you've lost.
I concede. Yeah.
Take the -1 rushing yards.
Oh my God! All right.
But with that, I think we should probably be a good time to take our break.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we can come back, and we're going to be talking about not our session, but Critical Role. As
Yeah.
just
A
their-
good D&D.
Yeah, good D&D to watch. You should
Yeah,
watch it.
Totally.
Campaign 1 and 2, or just campaign 1?
We
Probably
can talk
just
about.
campaign 1.
We can talk about
Because
one.
Mitch hasn't gotten to 2
I might have to sell him on campaign 2 because this man was talking about skipping.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, he
yeah.
was talking about
Campaign 2.
skipping
Oh, wait, to where they
up
are.
to where they are now.
Okay, let's not spoil it for
Nearly
everyone.
117 episodes
it's
in
up
or
there.
something. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
we're about to talk to him in a bit.
yep. We'll catch you guys in just a second. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to jump into the D&D section, but this
Yes,
time
sir.
we're going over Critical Role, Campaign
Yes.
1, a little bit of Campaign 2, right,
Yep.
Kyle?
Yep.
Without
A little bit.
spoiling
Just a little bit.
So I'm about to invest a shit ton of time into that.
Yep.
He wasn't.
Yep.
He wasn't thinking about it for a while though. He wanted to skip.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
So.
yeah.
And then in addition to that, we want to talk about
Mm.
some of the classes we've thought about playing.
Yeah,
some of
classes
the,
we like.
Characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've had we have Ober in my ASMR dude, but I've had some guys in the back pocket that I've either wanted to play in a separate campaign or one where if my character, inevitably bites the bullet, kicks the bucket, I got someone in the back that's just ready to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boom,
on the
boom.
back burner.
Yeah.
So first off, Mitch, how far are you in to?
Well, let me check YouTube.
Okay.
good idea.
Or I'm gonna make an intern check it for me. 'cause
Yeah, that's right.
We got interns.
Fuck them interns.
Whoa.
Hey,
You
hey.
can't be saying that. All right.
Whoa.
73. I'm almost done with 73.
All right, and there's 115,
Yeah,
116.
he's almost not almost. I mean, they're long episodes, so I guess he still has quite a ways to go. But he's past the halfway point.
He's making his way through the Chroma Conclave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there an arc after this one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mitch.
Oh.
There's another
There's like
20 episodes?
Yeah. You still have
30 episodes.
Yeah. Of course, there's gonna be another arc.
Yeah.
You
Well,
probably
it seems like the end all arc. Okay.
feel like you're
okay.
at the pen.
It's
the penultimate.
Yeah, this is.
Isn't or is there another? Oh wait, no. Yep.
There's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
arc
yeah,
that's
yeah.
bigger,
Yep, that's true.
but
Okay.
but bigger.
Yeah.
I will say when I
This-
first started watching it, and not the Umbersill. Yeah, it was an
Umbersill is the black dragon.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Not Umbersill. The first arc in their campaign one with the Beholder.
Oh, you're talking.
So when I first started watching, it was kind of getting towards the battle with the Beholder, and I was like, guys, I'm almost done with the first campaign, and Matt's like,
Oh,
what?
honey. Oh, honey.
How? I was like, yeah, they're almost to the main dude in the Underdark, and Matt started laughing at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's-
that's
yeah.
how
Yeah, that's
'Cause
the
it's
first
an arc.
arc.
It's an arc.
Yep.
You thought the campaign was just gonna be done in a few episodes.
Well,
Oh,
'cause I thought
sir.
they
That's
were
like how
4
Deals
hours.
in the Dark was like your
Yeah.
guys' first arc.
Well, I get
Yeah.
that now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for someone who had like 2 D&D sessions under his
Oh
belt,
yeah.
and someone who
an
just-
arc would be like
it looked like the story
be all
was
end all.
yeah, it looked like it
Yeah.
was done.
Yeah.
And at 4 hours an episode, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I think this is the end. I finally got through it all. I know what you guys are talking. Oh, I did not know. I'm still working on it.
You're still working. I mean, you've enjoyed your journey
I-
through it.
I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good time. I mean, it's not even you don't even need to watch it. Just have it be playing in the background.
Yeah,
Like it's just a nice chill.
And
Like,
I
I mean,
know
unless someone is like
they are
gonna
on
fight.
Spotify as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of D&D stuff. Like my Spotify sometimes gets hit with like recommended. That's not even a word. Recommended. Recommended D&D podcasts. Like I listen to the McElroy, like the Adventure Zone stuff.
Yeah. The Adventure Zone, by the way,
Oh,
it's
Good.
good.
Yeah.
It's a lot looser.
it's looser.
It's way looser.
It's not role play heavy more. It's just more like, hey, like I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
It's role
st-
play,
there's
but
some-
it's on a track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right.
Yeah.
Like
it's they're
Matt
not.
Mercer does like hey, what do you guys want to do? Like the world is yours to play, and I'll build around
Yeah.
you guys.
This is more
Griffin
like
McElroy's like, here's the train. You guys are on it. Make sure you get your tickets punched by the first 5 minutes, or you're off the train. Here we go.
yeah, but it's
Which
Oh,
isn't
really?
bad.
the first
It's
episode.
good.
The first episode,
Okay.
and even the second
Balance?
episode was like, it's kind of good. Like it's funny. Like they're just playing.
Yeah.
Like they have some serious stuff, but it's more hitting with like the comedy side of it, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's totally a good investment. Like if you want to take a break from Critical Role and be like, I want to go for something a little more lighthearted, a little more funny,
It's relaxed.
it's relaxed. I would highly recommend them.
Super good though. First, like
yeah.
it was my first. The
Yeah.
the McElroys were my first like fairway, I guess, into
Mm.
or
Gateway
Yeah.
into D&D.
not a gateway, but like
It was like a good starting point, a good jumping off point. which is
yeah,
it. It's
first like perusal
yeah,
of D&D.
and
I
most
guess.
of the people who are playing aren't even that well versed in D&D. No, like some of them, like the DM obviously knows.
The dad.
Yeah, the dad is.
What's his name? Clint
Yeah.
McElroy.
Yeah,
He doesn't know what he's doing half the time.
he doesn't.
Oh,
know.
really?
He's with one of his sons. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
it's basically the DM, his brother, his other brother, and their dad just playing D&D.
Oh, okay.
and
yeah.
they don't meet like regularly.
Yeah,
they
no,
meet
no.
with like a large periods of time in between, at least in the first.
Yeah, at least in the first,
Campaign.
it takes a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah.
But which hurts them a little bit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but it's honestly like it takes a good like DM to. You want him to understand the game more than the players do, because if the DM's lost, the players will get lost, and he knows his stuff. So he's a good like teacher to be like, okay, so this is how you do this stuff. This is what you gotta do. He's not being like a real. He's not obviously it's his family. He's not gonna treat them like garbage because they don't know how to
Right.
play the game. You know.
yeah.
And it's a nice way for even like beginners who haven't played D&D to like watch it because they're also being taught while he's teaching his family to play. So
Okay.
all in all, pretty good. It is. They do like as he said. There's like the balance one, and there's like graduation. I think a little bit down the line.
Amnesty in between.
Amnesties in between. Yeah.
Amnesty was a bit of a sleeper in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was good, but like a bit of a sleeper.
Balance is good. That's like their best one. When you think like Adventure Zone, everyone's saying like it's balance because that's
Okay.
it gets emotional. I will
Yeah.
say
Are
that.
these like episode names or are they like?
That's
No,
an arc.
balance is the
Is
campaign.
the whole campaign? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the whole thing.
Yep.
Is it?
How many
is it-
episodes are in it? It's like it's
A
not-
lot.
It's a lot.
And it
but
starts with the episode "Here There Be Gerblins."
Yeah, dude.
It's
The first episode when you get to know the characters and like you get to see the they
and
go
then how
into
he
the
ties
cave
it in
with
again
the
at the end.
yeah. Oh, they have.
Oh.
He has some good storytelling elements that just kind of tie everything up. I highly recommend that.
So are they
Well,
like?
after their first like thing with the
Yeah.
goblins,
Yeah.
then that's when he starts to put it on the rails,
yeah.
and it gets better from that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even having the interactions with those goblins are kind of funny. Cause,
Oh
like,
my gosh,
the wolf. The
that's
wolves
my
and stuff,
favorite wolf.
That's my favorite wolf. and
Call
you
him
do-
off. Or you're like, but you threw him into the fire.
but you threw him into the fire. He's just like, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's good. It's
Like-
good stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
A lot of memorable moments in there.
Are the episodes like 4 hours, similar to Critical
No,
Role?
they're
No,
they're
they're like an
significantly
hour,
shorter.
maybe.
At least
Oh,
an hour,
shoot.
hour and a
Okay.
half.
And that like opening music for
Yeah,
balance, I was
yeah.
like,
It's also on Spotify as well, so
Okay.
you can just listen to it for like cut a few hours out of your day. You got that Critical Role episode. You're like, 4 hours is a little long, but I still want my D&D fix. Just hop on that Adventure Zone.
Mm.
My brother's been watching it. He's been enjoying it a lot. I've been kind of getting into it a little bit. I need to have more time to watch it though, because I need to get back into it. But it is good. I would definitely, and for everyone else who wants to hear some good D&D stuff that are listening right now, definitely hit them up
Mm-hmm.
because they have some good stuff. Plus, their podcast isn't too bad either.
what is the name of the beholder? I'm trying to think of it.
No, it's not
V.
Umberto.
It's just the V. I'm pretty sure.
You remember it, Mitch?
No, it's well. I mean, it's been like 6 months since like
It has been a while.
6
But
or
we can
7
always,
months.
we can always regard the higher ups above Google
Yeah,
and let them know.
yeah.
Let them know. You know,
It's not Voraga.
that's
No.
true. It's Voltron, the robot.
Because that's where they found Kima. Oh,
Vakarn.
Ooh,
Vakarn.
that's a good name.
Karn.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good name. Vikarn.
Who was the? There was it was an Illithid that they befriended, and then he stabbed him in the back.
Never trust the
Tried to
Illithid.
eat his brain. Or whose brain did he try to eat? Was it Vex?
Vex? No, I don't.
Yeah, yeah. The Illithid tried to like eat one of their brains.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. I can't remember. I thought it was
I
might
thought
have
it
been
was
Grog,
Vex.
I
cause
think
or Vax.
it might have. Yeah, I feel like it was. I feel like it might have been Vex.
Might have been Vex. But
Either
that's
way.
Clarota.
Clarota, yes.
I remember that. Clarota.
Actually,
Because I'm on the episode I'm on right now is the Halloween episode that they're doing, and they all dressed up. Sam dressed up as the Rakshasa.
Rakshasa.
Yes, that name.
Yeah, every Critical Role Halloween episode, that they do, like
I love
the
those.
costumes.
Yes.
They seem to be getting like, are they getting better and better? Because they do. There's some that are like, oh,
Some people are getting better.
Some
Some
are
people
not.
aren't.
like Matt does his thing. Like he dressed up as McCree one time, and I was like, that's cool. And Liam dressed up as like Gara at one time.
Didn't he
and I
dress
was
up
like,
as the Witcher this year?
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he did.
He dressed up as like the Witcher.
Oh,
Or like his
wow.
full like getup. Yeah, Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah,
I know who he
He
is. You made me watch it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
it was a good
straight.
show. It was a good show and a very good game.
Did you like it?
Yo, yeah, I loved it.
Exactly.
You can hear me talk about it in season 1,
Yeah.
episode 3
Yeah.
of
The 50-50.
of this
Take it or leave it
of-
content.
Of
yes,
this
of this
podcast.
of this
Of this
podcast.
podcast.
Very one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Halloween episodes are good. Can I just say though that sometimes even the Critical Role like one shots that they do sometimes have been pretty well done.
I just skipped those. I'm-
Nah, dude, there's
The Call of
Dude.
Cthulhu one.
is good.
Watch it.
Okay.
I love that
Was
one.
that the one Liam did?
No, that's the one Taliesin does.
Yeah, that one's a good
It's
one.
not D&D. It's a
Yeah.
different
It's
game, but it's
basically- yeah.
like D&D.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I love it.
Yeah,
so much. It's the
there's,
spooky, creepy aesthetic of
yeah.
like the 19 like whatevers.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I would even say there's one that I really enjoy, and I mean, granted, it's a sponsored one, but I do like it. I like the Lord of the Rings one that they did.
Oh, okay.
Wherever they brought the dude who plays, I think it was they brought a dude who plays like Reinhardt or something, or like in Overwatch and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And they basically play as orcs. And that guy's voice, dude, I was like, oh, dude, that's a really good RP voice. It's like growly, and he has like a little accent to it, and it's like, oh, that hits. It was also just kind of a funny little one shot because basically they're just goblins and orcs about to get murdered by the main character.
So I don't know what the story is, but did you guys see the Wendy's one shot?
Oh, I did not.
Oh my gosh. So I watched it live, and then
Yeah.
I watched like some of the highlights from it again afterwards. And like a day later, they pulled it.
Why?
Something must have happened.
I don't know why. Sam was the DM though.
So
Oh.
things may have been a little bit.
So I didn't see anything that would have made me want to pull it. Like if I was the advertiser for it, because it was like Wendy's like had their whole like book of
Yeah.
like stuff.
It was
that
a
you could, like,
D&D.
it was like a D&D thing from like Wendy's.
yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and
it
they
was.
basically played a game.
Yeah, and
What
they-
year was that? What year
that
did
was
that?
this.
It was like this year, if not
No,
late,
maybe
early.
2019.
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
early or late 2019 for sure. It was recent. I
It
know
was
that.
recent enough to where I remember it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
2019 was it?
I would
this-
say 2019.
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
Maybe 2019.
It was an interesting. I saw it. Like I looked at
The
it. And I
ad,
was
like,
like,
for it
yeah,
or
and I was
whatever,
like,
like,
that's
when they were, like, plugging it.
interesting.
Yeah,
like,
it was hilarious.
Yeah, and
It
I mean,
was
with Sam,
funny.
as the DM, you know shenanigans will ensue.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing something must have happened where they were just like, or maybe ones was just like, take that down.
Well, and like they would like bring in food for like some food challenges. They
Yeah.
were like stuffing like fries in like their mouth to see who could like fit the most for just random stuff.
Yeah.
And then Sam's like, "Oh, that didn't actually matter. You guys didn't have to do that." And they're like, "Oh!" like, oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Also, there's something else from the Critical Role people that they've done. I think it's Undeadwood, where it's
Yeah.
dude, it's D&D with cowboys. It's like the Wild
Nice.
West. I mean, Marisha's in it. I think Matt's in it. He basically plays McCree. I mean, he's not McCree from like Overwatch, but he's basically the same person. He's just a grizzled like
I love the preacher,
oh,
Travis.
Dude, he has an interesting story because it's like, oh, he's just like the priest and stuff. But he's like, I got a little bit of stuff in me. Also, I honestly, Marisha's character in that was not bad. I enjoyed everyone's character. I thought everyone had something going on. Also, the DM was pretty good.
Who was the DM?
Brian W. Foster.
Yep. He's not bad.
He's the host of Talks Machina too,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
which is like their talk show about.
they like
Yeah.
to make jokes about him a lot, especially on the fucking like the Travis like spin-off show that he does where he plays video games. They always make jokes about him. It's kind of funny, but he's also not a bad DM. Like he sits down, he gets him into the story. I watched the whole series. I thought it wasn't bad for like what was it 10, 3, 4. It was not long.
There weren't a lot of like.
There weren't a lot of
episodes.
It was very short because it's just a random. It's basically a one
My
shot.
head is saying like 5.
Yeah,
Five
that would make
episodes?
5, 6 episodes. But in those 5, 6 episodes, I enjoyed it quite a bit. The system too was a little different. They had like some like instead of having it be like a standard D&D game, they had some stuff where it's like injuries. You can get injured. Stuff can happen where it's like a roll the dice and you gotta like draw cards and go to the bar and like get some stuff. It's
Oh really?
You
Yeah.
get like chips and stuff.
you get
yeah.
chips and whatnot. It's not bad.
Huh.
I would
That's
give it
interesting.
I'd give it a look. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Also, Matt rocked a pretty interesting costume with
Yeah,
like
he
his
did.
bushy mustache and everything. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
But back to campaign 1. How are you overall? Just enjoying it mostly. I'm sure you're enjoying
And
it quite
favorite
a bit.
arc so far. That
Yeah,
you've seen?
go for it.
I gotta see how the Chroma Conclave arc ends.
Yeah.
Just because I have theories on it on how it's gonna go,
Okay.
but I don't know if that's right. There's so many variables, especially with having the Green Dragon being the shapeshifter.
Raishan.
Rashawn. Yes.
Raishan.
Raishan.
Yeah.
Struggling with these dragon names if you can't tell.
Hmm.
But yeah, just how that's gonna play a role into it, and at what point is Vox Machina gonna like double cross her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
You just work with her and live happily ever after.
no,
That's never the case.
no.
That's never the case.
Marisha Ray will not let that happen, which is sad.
Yeah, that's how it be though. Sometimes I mean, like,
Like, okay, so in the episode I'm about to finish up, she like pulls Vax aside, which this isn't like out of the norm for her to do. It's
She
a very
does.
normal thing to do with her. It's like, all right, time to talk about lovey-dovey shit, and she's like, let's go kill her right now. I'm like, what? No.
Keyleth, yeah.
Like, Liam, don't let this happen. And he's like, Liam was like, I don't think we should do this now. But if you tell me you want to do this, we will go do this. I'm like, what? No. I
I mean,
Chaos crew.
that's how he be. He's just like, hey,
Right.
I'll do it. I mean, it may not be the right thing to do, but I'll do it.
But so favorite arc so far? It can be the in progress one too that you're in. You haven't seen how it's finished yet, but
Yeah.
Right.
But so far,
Probably the Chroma Conclave. I think a lot of stuff.
have they started getting the things yet?
The vestiges? Yeah,
Yeah,
they've got
they have, okay.
a lot of them. They have almost all of them.
Mm.
Because they have
How many do they have left to get?
2 or 4.
Because you just found Cabal's ruin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you think about that? What'd you think about the names that were on her gun?
I didn't recognize any. Well, I knew Percy's, but I didn't recognize any of the other names.
It's been a while for me, but
What were
The
the?
King of Wildmount, which is a different nation, is one of them.
Okay.
Bertrand Dwendal.
Okay.
And then like a whole bunch of, I think they were like high-level arcanists
yeah.
that lived
Oh,
across
really?
the world. Like a whole bunch of super powerful people
Yeah.
were on her gun list.
So basically,
I know Talisman was very excited about when he finally got the stats on her gun, and he was like, "Whoa, this is mean."
This is
This
mean.
is mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say the Chroma Conclave arc.
What's your favorite vestige so far?
I was really looking forward to see what the dagger, but now that I know what it is, I'm like, it's all right. It's either the cloak or Fenthras. Fenthras is pretty cool.
Fenthras is pretty cool.
That is the fact that it grows a tree. That's pretty awesome. It's like, oh, that's cool. Partially because then Keyleth can tree stride whenever Vex kills something, which is like a good problem solver for them because that's kind of how they travel now.
Well, like in the future, you mean? Because it has to grow still. Well, I guess it depends on how fast it grows.
It
Yeah.
grows decently quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fenthras is pretty cool. The Titanstone Knuckles.
Titanstone Knuckles.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
no.
like what Grog does with that. Or what?
Grog is such an interesting character. I mean,
I
I know
lo-
he's.
I love
know
him.
he is just like He's kind of like just the barbarian, but he makes the barbarian just seem. I know he has like the intelligence, which is like he is just a straight up.
He's
fucking
an idiot. He's an idiot.
He's an idiot, but it's still just like. But it's Grog, Like that's basically the argument. It's Grog.
Yeah.
You can't hate on Grog, even if he is low in
You
intelligence.
can't.
You just can't hate Grog.
You love how playful he gets with everyone.
He's like a
It's
he's
like a
gentle
big
giant.
dog. He's a big dog.
He's a gentle giant until
You piss
it's
him off.
yeah, and then he's
Until
like,
he pulls out his obsidian blade.
and then he's like, you
Obsidian
are
blade.
going to
You
die.
you got rid of it.
Oh yeah. The cursed one.
What was it called?
It starts with a V, doesn't it?
I think everything starts with a V. Just because the last two things we had.
Craven
started with
Edge.
V.
Craven Edge. That's right.
Ah, what a great sword. It speaks to him like,
Yeah.
You
So
know,
cool.
there's some
He runs with that gag for a while.
honestly.
Oh,
though,
yeah.
In the last episode I was on, they go through the horde and they find the paladin sword,
yeah.
the one they give to Kima.
the Holy Avenger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most BA weapon in the whole game.
It sucks that only Vax and
Only
Kima can.
Paladins
Yeah,
use it.
because I don't think. Well, it sucks because Vax isn't. That's not really what he's.
No.
No, so it had to go to Kima. That's cool that they found it and they able to give it to her. But when he found that, he talked to it and was like, no, he didn't talk to it, but he he rolled a natural 20 on the investigation on it. And Matt was like, you have never been more sure in your life that this sword is like, okay. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great. I love Grog. Grog's not my favorite character, but I love what...
You just can't hate Grog.
No.
Grog is just a character where it's like, he just does stuff and it's like, aw, Grog.
His freaking stone collection.
Yeah. There's just so much. I mean, Travis is just cool.
Just a cool dude.
Yeah, Travis is a solid
And it's
guy.
actually kind of, I mean...
I feel like he'd be a dude I could go have a beer with at a bar.
He's
and-
chill.
Also, I love how... It was a couple episodes ago, but I'm guessing football season had just started, and he was
Yeah.
watching the Cowboys. I'm like, yes, thank you for breaking the stigma that you can like D&D and you can like football. Yes.
Travis is also kind of a bulky man.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
dude.
swole privilege.
Yeah.
You know, the what's his name? Joe. It's like the guy.
Joe Manganiello?
Yeah, like that guy is. You wouldn't like you see him in movies and stuff. Like,
yeah, and you're like,
and
oh.
then you see him and he's like, yeah, I play D. I'm a hardcore D&D fan.
He's hardcore,
And I was like,
too.
for real?
Like, he's got a dungeon in his house.
Oh,
Like, where he goes and plays D&D with a whole bunch of, like
yeah, like
A-list people
yeah,
in
Really?
Hollywood. Yeah.
and they all just
And they all
play
just
D&D.
get into it,
and
yeah.
it's just like
He's
the-
got this big chair with, like, a dragon head up on, like, the
Oh,
ceiling.
wow.
yeah,
It's
he
cool.
decked his stuff out.
Yeah.
Oh.
and he's hardcore D&D.
And his
You would
wife
never
is
guess.
cool with it.
Yeah, Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
See, like, there's just, I don't know. There's a stigma around being, like, playing D&D.
Oh, dude, I get it.
For sure.
Yeah, I was that way. I was like, nerd stuff.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like, I would
Yeah.
never play D&D. It's
I
so
was like,
nerdy.
I'll
I've
never
always
do that.
been down to play D&D. Like, even in, like, early, like, when I was a freshman in high school, like, I wanted to play D&D.
You just didn't have anybody to play it with?
And didn't have anyone to play with, yeah.
I never.
And
At least, hey.
I finally found a group, and they're like, sorry, we already started. Like,
At least.
I get it
They're
now.
not a cool group.
Yeah.
You can work someone.
You can
in,
just bring somebody in.
realistically.
I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that hard to just be like, oh, and out
It
of
doesn't have to be pretty, but like
Yeah.
you can work someone.
like
in.
Critical Role does it all the time when they have guest characters come
Yeah.
through, even if it is just like a one-time thing or they're there for like a two episodes, 3 episodes. They're just like, yeah, here they come, boom, right on in. And
Yeah.
if they die, they die. But it's just like at least you can bring them in.
Spurt.
Oh, don't bring up Spurt. We don't talk about Spurt, dude.
Spurt.
You'll find out.
You wouldn't get it.
Oh, okay. Is that a campaign 2 thing?
Maybe.
Oh.
We can't. We're not gonna
We're not
tell
gonna
you.
tell you
You're
when you
you're,
meet
you're
Spurt.
gonna meet him, and then you're gonna be like, so this is Spurt. He's kind of, and then
Oh,
stuff happens to Spurt. Poor little Spurt. I will say that I did in campaign 1. I as you said, the Briarwood arc was pretty good. There was a lot of stuff that happened. Also,
Yeah.
kind of
What was your favorite? What was your favorite arc? Favorite arc?
it's Briarwood.
Yours was.
Chroma Conclave.
Yep.
I just like
The Briarwood arc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was it was a lot of stuff, and also they kind of like started planting the seeds for like the Percy like love affection
yeah.
stuff, and I was like,
And I know about that.
Yeah.
That I've
and it just
seen-
hit.
I've seen on Tumblr.
It just hit. Like when you finally realize how far the Briarwoods would go to get what they want and stuff like that, and it's just like, oh man, it's sad, but it's also just like this is good. It's sad, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy it. I just like how, just in terms of how Critical Role in both campaign 1 and 2, like the character arcs, they all just kind of, it just hits. It doesn't matter who the character is, even if it's like Keyleth or Bo and stuff. They have a good way of just handling the stories in a way that just kind of like it all ties up together, and there's just a cohesive storyline, a nice flow. Stuff that makes you cry, laugh.
I will say when Percy died,
Yeah.
besides the fact about me being angry at how Marisha handled it, it did make me like,
It makes you
Oh.
care for the characters.
yeah.
That's right. He hasn't seen that either yet.
Oh.
I just remembered something that you just reminded me of that leads to that other thing I was talking about. If you know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I
Don't
know.
fuck
you're
it
gonna,
up.
You're gonna get there soon.
Yeah.
That hits hard.
Oh.
It hits hard.
Yeah.
For me.
Does it have
For
to deal,
me.
Does it have to deal with Kine? No. It
I
looks
can't
like.
say.
Well, you're not gonna say.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair.
I think I know what you're saying because there is something that hurt me because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
I was. There's a lot.
That was the one that got me like to that like
And
affected me emotionally.
Oh, really?
The ending of Critical Role affected me emotionally. Like the first campaign,
Yeah.
it's emotional.
Dude.
But this other thing that happens,
It
for
hits,
me,
it hits the most.
it hits the most.
Okay.
It hits hard,
It
and
hits
you're
hard.
coming up on it.
You're coming up on it quick.
You're gonna
You're
get
about
it.
to have an emotional journey, my friend.
If you get to that point by next week, you gotta talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, if you do, we gotta talk
I'll
about it.
steamroll through these next.
Because I'm gonna know when it happens because you're gonna be a different person after, bro.
You will.
I swear. You're gonna
look at role playing differently.
Yeah,
Really?
you're
You
gonna
will.
You're gonna get to that part, and you're gonna
You're
be
gonna
like,
say,
I
"Wow,
can't.
this
Yeah,
is
this is good.
how deep it can go."
It's
good because I want to improve my role playing.
dude. Critical Role is definitely the place to do that because they have it's great character, like great characters. I mean, some are a little,
Right.
And I think I can recognize that.
Yeah,
Where
you can tell the good from the bad.
Yeah.
There are some good character development. Like the characters that they make are complex. You know, they got their backstories and everything. And when Matt just somehow ties like their backstory into the
He
campaign,
does a really good job of that.
it really pays off because it's just like, ooh, it's enticing because it's just like you can see the players getting like giddy and like happy, or they're being like, oh my god, like what?
Well,
Like
it
there's
was
some stuff in Critical, like in campaign 2, and there's some stuff in there where even like the players were like, what? And they didn't even know, and this was like part of their story, and they didn't even know.
Well, when they first started looking for the vestiges, and they figured out that the leader of Grog's old horde, or
Kevdak?
yeah, Kevdak, he had the Titanstone knuckles, and Grog was like, not gonna. Let's go find other ones first.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's nice.
good.
There's little like things that the characters do that just like it makes them feel real. Like I know they're role playing them, but it feels so natural. Like the way Grog just reacts to it, and he's like, "Let's go do other stuff." It's like it makes you wonder, like, wow, that's interesting. Why would he just kind of
Why is the toughest guy we know suddenly being a
little?
You know?
Yeah, there is a part in campaign 2 that kind of it's with one of my favorite characters, Caleb. There's some parts in there where it's like for you, I guess, to just talk a little bit about him.
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard
Okay.
who kind of goes around like fire-based stuff. He also has a nice cat. That's pretty cool. But there's one
Cat and
moment.
fire is
There's one
aesthetic.
moment when he's burning like a dude, and he watches. Oh my! I can't say it, but there's just a
Nope.
moment with that. That's just it's those little things
Okay.
that
They
makes
build
me
up
like
to big things later.
yes, which is why actually to segue a little bit, which is why you need to watch the beginning of
Yeah,
Critical Role
oh
Campaign
my
2.
gosh.
You can't just skip
This man
to the most
Mitch,
recent episode.
was about to skip to the most recent episode instead of watching the build up.
There is a lot that
Imagine
happens.
not watching like the Briarwood arc and then just jumping to where you are now.
That would be hard.
Imagine
Exactly.
Imagine
would be
just
kinda
Now you have like
You have-
4 times the episodes that you're missing out on.
yeah, because there's a lot.
That's just the problem. I'm worried that eventually I will catch up.
Eventually you'll catch up. You caught up to you're
Trust me,
making
dude. They take breaks all the time.
yeah they take
It's
hiatus.
actually a little bit annoying how many times they take
They
breaks.
do.
I get it. I get it.
So it's
And
worth.
I do get it, obviously, because
Yeah.
I canceled a couple times,
that's fair.
which is upsetting.
But it's like, dude, you gotta get introduced to the characters. You gotta go through
the
their
introductions for sure. The introductions, that was so good.
journey. Yeah, I really like when they all
Hi,
got
I'm
introduced.
Chester.
I'm
He
yeah.
just reaches over the table. And it's like, are you reaching over the table? I don't even know you. She's like, well, shake my hand and you will. And it's just like,
Jester's-
cute little character moments.
Okay.
There's so
Nice.
much, dude. And if you just skip, there's also big character moments that you're just completely skipping over.
Oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
you know who arc with the
Yeah.
yeah
You're missing that.
you would miss the haha arc.
There's so much.
You don't get this, but you will. Haha.
There's so much.
Do you get this?
Yeah. There's so
Yeah.
much character development on for
We're gonna-
every
Okay.
character.
All right. I'll
Like-
watch them.
Yeah.
I think
And since it's like COVID and all that,
You
other,
have time.
pretty sure
Yeah.
almost every character goes through some kind of big character like development. Like there are just
From where we are now, yeah.
like,
Except for one, maybe.
except for one.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think out of everybody,
Who hasn't?
well, I know. Well, we know for sure. I mean, we can't really.
Because Caduceus did. I
Caduceus
think.
did. Not for sure did.
Yep.
Caleb.
Yep.
I think it might be. I mean, Bo hasn't really done a lot.
Bo had her vineyard thing.
True. Jester did for sure.
Jester did?
I thought she did. No.
What's her? What was it?
I mean,
What would it have been?
I mean, there's a part that I think was like a big spoiler that I saw on Instagram one time, and I was like, "There's like some fan art stuff," and I was like, but then I was like, "No, that can't be right. I'm not gonna." It involves a character that may have possibly, bit the bullet earlier. Molly's character, Townsend. Something going on with her and him. It was weird. That's why I was like, I don't know if that's actually.
No.
Yeah, no.
I'm so confused. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you'll know them soon enough.
No, because
Yeah.
I don't think
Is she not
Jester
cool?
was one I don't think has had one.
Really?
Who did you think hasn't had one?
I would have thought Bo, because Bo just is.
No, because Bo had her vineyard thing where she almost gave up something that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that makes sense. And of course,
I mean, she doesn't play up to that. In my humble opinion, she
Yeah,
doesn't play up
maybe
to
that's
that. It
why-
was just like a moment thing.
maybe
where,
that's why I thought it
Yeah.
didn't come from it, because she just hasn't. But like, I know for sure Fjord has. I know for sure.
Yep, Ford definitely has.
And fucking, I call him Fjord because
Yep,
we have
yep, with the
gotta-
J, yep.
Yeah, Fjord Explorer. But I just thought Bo would just. I don't know. She's just always that same character. So seeing any changes and then she
Yeah.
doesn't play it up at all, it just makes me think it's the same character. That's
Maybe
why
she's just like waiting for that good moment to play it up.
Well,
I don't
she's
know.
been waiting for a while. Nothing's happened. Oh, you know what? Who's your favorite guest character? I guess.
Favorite character from Campaign
Favorite character
One,
from
because
campaign one. Yeah, there's.
Favorite?
one more
What do you
guest
mean by that?
favorite character. So
From campaign one?
yeah, so
Yeah.
Scanlan,
Yeah, just from the base,
Vax,
from the base
Vax,
cast. We won't say
Yep.
guest characters because
So from
including Pike, even though she's
Yeah.
not here, including Tiberius.
we'll say if you're a fan of him, yeah.
If you're a fan of Tiberius,
uh,
I thought Tiberius was kind of.
So it's-
not
it's-
bad.
I like the
liked him.
character, the person
The
who played
person,
him.
Yeah, that's why it's always like I don't know.
Yep.
I think I think Tiberius had a couple funny lines. I just didn't vibe with him. You guys also.
Hi, I'm Tiberius Stormwind from
Yeah.
Draconia.
It was funny.
I love
Yeah.
that.
It was funny. I just.
You weren't vibing with him as much.
I loved it, like those little things.
It
And
was
when
the
he
little things-
wasn't being annoying, it was funny, and I
Yeah.
liked him.
when he wasn't
He gets
metagaming.
metagaming too,
it isn't. It's
and
not fun.
beating his wife.
and
Yeah.
cheating the game.
Yeah,
Those
he was a
aren't
bad
great.
person.
But
Right.
his character was.
I mean, it. Being at where I'm at in the campaign, they recently found him dead. So.
Yep.
I mean that got a little emotional.
That's a little like he ha ha. And we just flipped the bird. Just like
Well,
I know it's like for the emotional for like the character. It's like, oh yeah, we used to hang out with him. But I also know it's like that's Critical Role just being like
Hey, he's never coming
he's
back.
not coming back. Like he's
oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
because they killed off his character.
Yep.
He's not coming back, and they've even said like he's not coming back, and they were like
No.
this. And I'm sure that's for like the people who are asking like, oh yeah, where did he go? Like I know he's not going to be on the show, but what happened to him? There's your answer. He's dead.
He's dead.
So
Yep. So I mean, never really vibed with Tiberius that much. He had funny moments. Otherwise, at the end of not
Yep.
really vibe.
Yep.
yeah,
So it
Who's your favorite? Favorite character?
overall, God, it is so close between Scanlan and Vax.
dude, everybody.
is it?
God,
Who is it?
You gotta choose one, man.
I would
know.
say-
I
I
know
just
what mine is.
I have to say Scanlan just because
Yeah.
he does the musical aspect of
Yep.
his character so goddamn well.
I will say
Yeah.
this though.
Who's your favorite?
Just for that Vax stuff, I will say this. All right. Vax has the best character arc
Oh, he does.
in
Yep.
the campaign.
Yep.
He really does, and that's
He-
what it's.
And
so,
I know by the end
it's
by
like-
the end of the campaign, your opinion may change from Scanlan to Vax. I'm just saying. It was. I like Scanlan, but like, just everything. Oh, dude.
I
Now
think
I'm thinking
You're
Scanlan.
about
not
it.
talking about Scanman's arc.
Scanlan
True.
also has a really good
True,
arc.
he does. He
Yeah,
does. I
he
will.
does.
I'll throw it
I
out there.
appreciate that a lot.
For me, my favorite character.
It's an undertoned arc. It's not.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yes.
it's not
Yeah.
talked about. Just
No.
from the vibe that I get.
That's fair. That's fair. I think my favorite character for me is probably Percy.
Percy.
I
All
like
right.
Percy. It's what inspired me to do my tiefling like gunslinger thing
Mm-hmm.
in the one shot because I
Yeah.
was like, a gunslinger is cool. And I know they play tested and everything to make sure everything like worked and stuff. And they also doing Blood Hunter, which is also something I want to try out in the future because like Blood Hunters are cool. But like, it made me think, damn, like gunslingers are kind of. I mean, there's a lot of math you gotta put in. There's a lot of rolling, a lot of stuff, a lot of chance. Like it could misfire and everything. But I just liked the aspect of this cool gunslinging dude.
Yep.
Plus his arc's not bad.
I like Percy's
I
arc.
thought and when he died too, I was like, oh my, so cool. Why not the, man?
Yeah.
Oh, but also Vax. Just
Vax
it's
is good,
Liam.
too.
It's Liam. I mean,
Yeah.
you know Liam got something cooking, especially with a character like that. It's like
when he got the wings, that was really cool. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. And then when, oh God, now I'm blanking on his name. The guy that sells magical goods, and
Gilmore?
Gilmore, there you go.
you forget.
Yeah, I know.
Don't forget Gilmore.
I know. I love Gilmore. I will not. When he pushes him off and the wings sprout,
Oh,
I love that.
it's cool.
Also, the Rakshasa thing in the middle of that was like out of freaking nowhere. I thought it was a little sus that he Gilmore came in, gave him that, and then wanted to go talk. I'm like, that's a little weird. Whatever. I mean, they've had. I'm assuming a past relation or thoughts of based on what they're interacting now. So I'm like, well, this isn't too weird, and like, there's dragons everywhere, so not too out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
It's freaking Rakshasa. Oh.
I feel that.
Yeah.
That was really. I enjoyed that a lot. That's a good callback. I can't wait for them to deal with that on top of everything else.
Dude, you're in for a ride.
You are.
For these next couple of episodes, bro. You're gonna go on an emotional roller coaster, and I want to hear everything about it.
I do hate how Ashley is not always there.
Yeah, but
That is sad.
I know she's busy. I know
Yeah.
she's super, super busy, but it just sucks because there are moments, especially when
She comes back with the Briarwood arc, and it's like her, and then she's like, like slams against
It's a
all
cool-
those skeletons.
it's
so
such a
cool
cool-
because that's
it's
what
so-
paladins do,
It's
Yep.
so cool.
or clerics. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
and
clerics
her,
and paladins. Ah.
and her in campaign 2, I really like, because it's just like it's such a turn. From
Before
like
we
who
get
she-
too off topic,
yeah,
can I tell you guys who my favorite character is?
yes,
From campaign 1.
go for it.
Do you guys have a guess as who my favorite character is?
I feel like, well, it's obviously not Keyleth.
Sorry, Keela stands out there. I hate her. Sorry, I don't hate her. She just
I'm
irritates me sometimes.
Say Vex.
Vex.
Nah,
Vex.
I don't think Vex. I think Grog.
Grog is a good guess.
It's either Vex or Scanlan for me. I think it's
Scanlan.
yeah, because
Ah,
he was
how
just talking
can
about
you
Scanlan
not
before.
love him.
He's
And
cool.
then
it's Sam
It's
too.
underrated. Do you know about Scanlan in the final arc? In the final bits, in the final moments? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's been a little bit.
You would know.
Yeah.
You'll miss it. The first watch.
Okay.
You'll miss it.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Do you want to tell
No.
me so I don't miss it?
No, because that's
I
gonna
can't.
spoil it.
I can't.
Why would he? Let me
It's-
just tell you
it's
about
so-
the end.
It's so like
It's like a little.
you have to understand a lot about D&D and how stuff is prepared
Yeah. To get it.
to understand what happens, and then like you'll still probably miss it.
Okay.
I just barely caught it because somebody else
Said it.
was like looking at something, and then I was
Oh.
like, wait a minute, what's happening?
After I watch it, we should
Talk
do it as
about
an episode. Like we should get together and watch it.
Ooh.
Sure.
The final episode. 'Cause, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
still 4-hour episode.
The final battle.
The final.
Oh,
yeah.
it's in the final battle.
It's in the final battle of the final.
It's the big.
Yeah.
It's the big final.
It's-
It's the end game.
It's the end. It's
Yeah.
the Avengers versus Thanos.
And just like Endgame, everything basically ties up in a neat little bow.
Yep.
And that's why I fucking love Critical Role, because even when they've done this for how long did campaign 1 take?
Years.
Years.
Yeah.
Years of storytelling.
15? No,
All
14.
tied up.
14 or 15. It seemed like it started.
14 is when it started.
Yeah, it ended in
And look how young they were.
yeah,
Well,
That's 6 years ago.
yeah.
Crazy.
But
Yeah.
like
Matt, you can see it a lot in Matt. now.
Yeah,
He's got gray in the beard and like starting in the hair a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but then you look back at him then, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah, was he
I
like,
think-
still in college when he was doing?
no.
Someone was like, some people were still like doing.
No,
they were at
in
least
2014?
2014 maybe.
No.
Am I tripping? I'm definitely
You're
tripping.
tripping for sure, dude. They were in their
For some
30s.
reason, for some reason,
Early 30s.
I guess he just looked young enough for me to think.
Maybe
I was gonna say I was watching an
college.
episode one time, and I think it was you, Matt. That you were like, "Oh my god, look how young they all look." I was like,
dude, it's crazy.
I mean, they look
Yeah,
normal
and
to
then
me.
Then you look at the most recent episode.
look at the
like
most recent one.
campaign 2, and you're like, oh,
They're-
wow.
Before you're like, oh, they're like young adults. Now you're like, they're adults.
They're adults.
They
Like Travis too is like full. He's
Yeah.
just man now.
he's like before he
Doesn't
was like
him and Laura have like kids?
they have a kid,
They
yeah.
have a kid. Yeah. They go through. Yeah, even in campaign 2, like she has to take breaks because she's
And-
having a baby.
Like
So.
Taliesin,
Yeah. Oh, dude.
age hit him hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Taliesin.
I mean, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But his drip is pretty cool.
His,
I do.
his drip game went up as
His hair.
age went
His
up.
hair too was like he had some good hair game. Like,
Yeah,
he has some like multicolored mohawks things
Yeah.
going on, like slick back down.
it's crazy.
It's kind of cool.
It's really
What he
cool.
does
yeah.
with his hair is pretty crazy.
But
Not always a big fan of it, but
That's all right.
yeah.
I
Gotta respect it.
I can
I
appreciate it and
I
respect it. Yeah.
respect it. Yeah. I think. Oh, dude, I just lost my train of thought. Back to, I guess campaign 1 and 2. And I mean campaign 2 for me. Dude, I started watching
Oh,
that.
did I say my favorite arc?
You did
No,
not.
we did not.
I know you said your favorite character was Scanlan.
Yeah, yes.
And
Scanlan.
you
Favorite
were
arc.
really into the Scanlan, like Scanlan's character arc, which was, as we said, it was good.
It is
Flies
good.
under the radar.
It does. It does.
Um,
Yeah, but what is your favorite? Because there's some good ones.
I'd say my least favorite
Okay.
for sure. It's the plane of water.
Just didn't do it for you.
In of water.
Yeah, you're not there yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a little after, but it's not. Didn't do it for you.
It's
huh?
all right.
I mean, not every arc's gonna hit.
No,
Not every
no.
arc's gonna hit, but most of them.
Yeah,
Just this
most
one.
of them are really good.
Just this one wasn't.
It's between, the Underdark
Yeah.
arc and the
They go back to the Underdark.
no,
No,
it's
like
the one you've seen.
The one you've seen.
It's that one.
The
It's
one-
between that one and the Briarwood arc, because
Everyone. Yeah. Briarwood is just.
Briarwood arc is so good.
Yeah.
That's like the storytelling and stuff. But the first one, that's where I was like, oh,
This is some good stuff.
this is what D&D can be. I'm like, oh, like they're going through, they're fighting monsters, they're
Oh
like, you know, they're finding stuff. They made a friend that's an enemy, but like, and then like they
There's,
get
like,
to the
little-
final boss, and it's not exactly how it's supposed to be. It's
Mhm.
got this weird demon horn thing that
Yeah.
it's used, and it has armor, and it's got monsters that it's got like all caged up that it uses during the fight.
Yeah, and it's like this is. But then you get to like
You're like,
Briarwood,
Ah.
and then you kind of go through, and then you get to that Briarwood arc, and you're like, oh my.
And you're like, this is how you
God.
tie characters into stuff, and oh my gosh, that's where the intrigue comes in. Why is there a giant temple underneath the city? Like, what are they
Yeah.
using it for? What's with the
Yeah.
weird hand iconography? Why are they sacrificing people and stuff
bodies-
down here?
the bodies
The
on the sun
bodies, like
tree.
on the walls and in the
Ooh,
sun tree,
yeah.
and the ghosts in
Also,
the castle.
I love the Sun Tree. I love the Sun Tree.
Dude, that
It's so
whole
freaking funny.
arc was just like this. This is some serious stuff.
Yeah,
Like as you said, the Underdark stuff is just like, yeah, we're a bunch of adventurers. We're going down there. We're killing
That's the
people.
vibe
doing
I get.
stuff.
It's very, very seems like classic D&D.
Yeah, it's when you get past that and the veil starts to like open more, and you're like, oh, this goes deeper than just your standard, just a bunch of friends playing D&D. They're living a life. This stuff gets super serious.
yeah.
and
They
the-
like have like to start a rebellion because the townspeople are getting like genuinely like mistreated
Yeah.
and like it's so
Yeah.
it's very soul crushing with the farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really
The
like
lengths
got to
that
me.
they would
like,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it makes you open your eyes and like this is what D&D like is. It's not just some adventurers going and killing monsters left and right. Like there can be moments of just absolute like dread, absolute happiness, and the Briarwood arc kind of gives you like
All of it.
it's just a roller coaster.
When they're fighting in Imond right before the arc starts, and they're like chasing the Briarwoods, and they
Yeah.
go into like the house, and it's like
Oh.
Jenga, you know, like like right before it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I do.
And like Percy uses the gun to cauterize that guy's wound after he shoots him. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Percy, dude.
No mercy, Percy.
No mercy, Percy.
He rolls a shit ton of natural 20s. I'm just gonna say that. It's
That's what-
crazy.
And it's just the thing that he does is fucking badass. I mean, he's a gunslinger. It's like,
yeah.
I do like their classes that they make. Like Blood Hunter, I haven't played it, but just the aspect of what it is just so
The
cool.
lycanthrope class is too underpowered in my opinion.
I feel like I mean, it's cool though.
It's cool, but like
It's just it needs to
too
be
weak.
more. It needs to do more.
It's too weak,
But
in my
like,
humble opinion. Anyway, Gunslinger, you were talking about.
oh yeah, I think it's a good thing. Like I really like that class, and as I said, it's what made me inspired to make my Tiefling character for the one shot, because like just being able to do cool shit with guns in a world where guns aren't like they're not a commodity. It's just like it's out of nowhere, you know. And just having someone who's just completely badass in the ways of the gun. It's just fucking cool. Like the amount of stuff you can do with it, and like the amount of scenarios where you can get into
Yeah,
it.
some people have done some really cool stuff with guns in D&D.
Like, and also with Gunslinger, it's like you get.
Are you
tricks-
talking about
You get like trick shots
in
and
our
stuff.
campaign?
And, oh, yeah. Like there's some like trick shots you can get with it. Like they went deep into how a gunslinger works in the game. Like they gave grit points, which you spend using your wisdom modifier, and so much good stuff. I love it, honestly. That and also
And then on top of it, like
Yeah.
it like synergizes well with like Cabal's Ruin.
Yeah.
Like a gunslinger would synergize so well. It did, obviously,
did.
as she showed.
yeah.
what do you mean? Sorry, I'm a little lost.
So Cabal's Ruin, what it does is it takes in a magic, right?
Mhm.
And then you can use it, and it makes it like electrical damage. So that's what Ripley used.
Oh,
That's what Cabal's Ruin does. It like
Okay.
absorbs magic, and then like when you
Dispels
like
it back
shoot,
out.
it like shoots it back out.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty
So,
Well,
like,
she
shoots
hasn't.
off the
Percy
gun.
hasn't really used the gun a whole lot yet, and
Ripley used it though.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
It's all right. It's all right, Mitch.
I'm confused, but
It's
that's
all
okay.
good. It's all good.
I get that. I get it now. So we're good.
Yo, can I ask you something, Mitch?
Mm.
I know
Yeah.
you're new to D&D,
Very new.
but have you thought about like other classes you wanted to play?
Yes.
Tell me something. I want to hear.
Give me one class that you want to play.
Yeah.
Rogue.
Rogue. Nice.
Ooh.
God, I will love
Rogues are fun.
even in our own campaign. Sometimes I feel like I rogue way too hard.
You
I use the
are
ranger.
more
to-
ranger than you're more rogue than ranger to me.
I try to
you-
sneak around way too much,
a
and
ranger who doesn't use a ranged weapon, who mostly
That's-
sneaks and stuff. I mean, I know rangers aren't defined by
No.
their ranged attacks. I mean, that's just how I used to play because I played a ranger once, and he wasn't bad. I mostly just shot from my bow from afar. But
Mhm.
now instead of being a ranger who shoots arrows from afar, I'm a warlock who shoots,
shoots
magic
Eldritch
out of his
Blasts
hands
from afar.
So
yeah,
it's more or less the same. But yeah,
I think-
Rogues are fun.
rogues
I-
are fun.
yeah. I wish I
Did you
could.
try to throw daggers like Vax?
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Of course, yeah.
Dagger, dagger, dagger.
You're
man,
a rogue.
all
you got,
day
you
long.
gotta do some flashy like
Oh,
dagger throwing.
You can do
Dagger.
so many cool things.
Yeah.
So many cool things. I mean, I kind of do it with Zion.
Yeah.
I use the two short swords quite a bit to be
You want to be a little different,
a little bit of a badass. Yeah,
dude. You got some. There's some moments in there where you were
Yeah.
you were doing your thing, bro.
cutting shit up.
I mean, you're basically Legolas to me. That's who you are in the campaign.
Legless.
Legolas
Legolas?
from Lord of the Rings. You know,
Oh, yeah.
He's an
So-
elf. He's an elf, blonde hair, two swords.
Okay, that wasn't intentional though.
That's fair. Yeah, I know.
I did not
know,
mean to do
I know
that.
you weren't basing your whole character
I
off
say
of him. but
Matt
you're
knows
giving
what I
me-
base my character off
Yeah.
of, and that
Yeah.
did not come up.
You're giving me just from your character, because I'm just like elf, two swords, blonde hair.
He's not a
Badass.
full elf.
He's not full elf, true.
Half elf.
He's half elf. So you're like half Legolas. I mean, Legolas uses the bow. You don't obviously use the bow.
I don't think
Diet
I've ever
Legolas.
shot my bow.
Just give it away. Just give it to
No,
somebody
I
else.
take-
Shot at the
I
owls.
did shoot at the owl, and it did
for
not
the
work.
first time in the campaign,
And then
you
you're like,
used
ah,
your
this is
bow,
dumb.
and then you're like, I'm going back to cutting
this is
people.
Stupid.
I'm going back to cutting
this is
people.
useless.
Yeah. I
I also use Uno too much, so.
What do you mean? I mean,
there's
that's
no
your
too much.
That's your character.
It's your wolf companion.
Yeah, like you're just not
Is there
gonna
a class
use
you've
your.
always wanted to play? Or you talked about it, Gunslinger, didn't you?
I've done Gunslinger now,
Yeah.
but if I had to choose another one, and this is more for like a character too that I've always wanted to try. So I guess I'll throw Race in there.
Okay.
But it's like an orc fighter, but he's
Yeah.
more under a samurai fighter.
Okay.
So basically, I've always had this idea of like, 'cause I'm into like Japanese culture and samurais and stuff. Basically, he's an orc who gets his whole clan killed, gets adopted by like this old like master of the samurai bushido code, and teaches him the ways of the samurai.
Nice.
But he's also a half orc, so he has to deal with like that rage and stuff, and he has to control it. And he's like, this is not my teachings. I have to be more following of the code than it is of my orc bloodline. I've always wanted to try. I've always wanted to try that. Plus, I mean, this is a long stretch if he even reaches level 20. But there's this thing called Strength Before Death, which is kind of cool. It's for like samurais, but basically you get down to 0 HP, but then you actually go back up to 1, and you can do like a bonus action and stuff. And you can do a lot of shit with it. Like if you were to put a like multi-classing stuff on it.
And the orcs already
and the
orcs
orcs
already get like
yeah.
when you drop to 0 hit points, they come back up.
So basically, you get that plus Strength Before Death. You got yourself a fucking monster. But he's always been a character that I've always wanted to try because it's just like he has. It's just like with campaign 2, I like Ford because it's just like he's a half orc, but from the player handbook, they're always just like they look really orcish looking and they got the tusks and stuff. But like Ford's just like, yeah, I'm half orc, but I filed my teeth down. I act more human than an orc. So it's just like not all half orcs have to be orc like.
Right.
So that's what's like my character kind of wants to be that way. It's just an interesting duality.
Yeah.
Can I
Matt,
talk about one that
I was gonna say, as a DM,
Yeah.
what class have you always wanted to play?
So, human would be the race.
Variant human? Or just human? Variant human's always just like the easy choices. I can get stat boosts and stuff,
It depends on how I'm feeling, I suppose.
Fair.
I would do a human wizard. Now, before like you judge me, it's not like a normal like human wizard. It's like human like from like our like time. And he gets like thrown into D&D.
A modern human.
So he's like a scientist that's like, oh yeah, so like, and he like uses like actual like pieces of stuff instead of like, you know, like, oh, I just know how to do magic. He like, you know, maybe isn't a good person, and he like, you know, like takes like wild magical animals and stuff and like, you know, like siphons their blood or something and like uses those for like magic.
Oh,
it's the only way that he understands like how to do it. And he's like constantly like experimenting and stuff.
He's like a magic user in air quotes.
Kind of like a Dr. Frankenstein almost.
He's using scientific means to do kind of like
kind of like an artificer. Kind of like that, but
but he's basically a wizard. Yeah. So instead of using gadgets and stuff, it's still like I'm under the wizard.
Yeah,
I'm just using more scientific means.
It's like what happens when you throw like normal like scientist into D&D. Like how does he like go about it?
That's an interesting one.
Because then like he can't talk about where he's from and all this other stuff. Because how do you explain that to a bunch of people?
How do you explain that to a bunch of people from a different area, different dimension, different time, whatever the case, and explain to them, yeah, so I don't really have magic, but I have this.
I am learning magic. And they're like, oh my, what are you doing? He's like, what?
Oh, this is magic, right?
Magic, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know, that kind of reminds me.
That'd make it interesting.
Honestly,
very, very interesting.
If I may, there
It'd be
was
super fun.
another character that I do want to play. Of
that?
course, he follows the warlock, because obviously warlocks are cool, but he's not your typical warlock. He's not doing a hexblade one. It's more of like the deep. He's a pirate, half elf dude. His dad was a human, and his mom was an elf, and his dad was like a pirate, like this, basically like one of the worst pirates in the seas and stuff. Like he's basically like a Blackbeard considered to people, and he makes a deal with this deity to become the most fearsome pirate ever known. But he's like, I don't want you. I want the soul of your firstborn, and so he transfers like not to him, but gives it to me, his son, and so I'm cursed with like his stuff while he goes out being like
The best.
the best, most fearsome pirate in the seas, and I want to find him and ask him why he did it. I'm your son stuff. Fight him.
Gotcha.
Maybe even like break the curse because it's kind of like
The Curse Breakers, just like your guys' D&D group.
yeah.
Nope.
It's basically
That has not been confirmed yet.
he's basically a half elf version of fucking Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean, where his dad's like
Fair enough.
bootstrap Bill Turner, and he's cursed, and I have to go like save him, and in turn I also become like the new captain of the ship that he used to be on, and I'm also cursed and stuff like that. His name's Jasper.
Cool.
I have like his whole character sheet and shit, and I'm like, I would really love to play this character. I just have no time to ever want to play
And
him.
that's where most of it like comes.
I know. It's like you
time
have all
thing.
these cool ideas for characters, but in the end, it's just like, when am I ever going to use them?
Yeah, my Bard Sorcerer I want to use sometime.
Oh,
But-
dude, that would be so cool.
I know.
Hey, if our characters die, the line just opens up new characters.
I hope
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
I really
know.
like Zion. I feel like I
I-
really flushed him out.
I like Oberyn
Well,
too.
and your dad also started as a character idea for me.
Oh, really?
Like for some multi-classing stuff, yeah.
Oh shoot, tying in his character into your character, that's pretty lit. But yeah,
Huh.
This is just
Because he's a fighter. Well, we don't have to get in. We won't get into it, but
he's
he did some stuff during the fight, and it's like,
basically
That's a little stuff.
basically I'm really excited for this next session
yes.
because I know stuff is gonna happen. I know I always say this in every episode that we've had so far. Stuff's gonna happen. I can't wait to see what stuff happens. And actually, Matt, you got some stuff for Project Deicide.
Yeah, I
Ew.
did. Do you guys want to give me some guesses on what you think Project Deicide is? I'm just curious.
If it's like the typical big blockbuster movie beam in the sky, where it's just a big blue beam and it's like,
Yup,
it'll
yup.
destroy all the gods. Every single one will die. No, I think
Dang.
it's. I feel like
Go back to the. I gotta change
I
it
feel
now.
like
Gotta change
Project
it.
I mean,
But for those
a
who don't
weapon.
know, Deicide
Yeah.
means God killing.
yeah.
Yep.
I feel like it's
Because
a
the gods live in my world. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
You'll know if you get this far.
yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a weapon of sorts. I'm not sure what kind of weapon it is. I mean, if it's like a sword, I'm going to be like, that's a really, really, really powerful sword. But I'm also like, I feel like it's not just a sword, but more like part of it is something else. But it seems like a weapon of sorts that obviously can kill a god. Might be some kind of spell. Might be some kind of weapon that you need to forge with the right materials. But I know it's of the utmost importance. I know the Dominus had it in his possession, and the
Well, he had the
possible
files.
Raven Queen is with him. Maybe.
Maybe. I love that. If that's, I'm not. Don't tell me. But if that's what it is, I love that.
The thing is too is that
I love that.
I think the Raven Queen's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the Raven.
I like the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, I mess with her. She's just like a cool
It also
deity to me. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it also helps the whole Vax thing too. I really fuck with the Raven Queen
yeah.
because of Vax.
yeah.
That's really that whole
It's
thing
cool.
was super cool.
It's
I
cool.
love how he did a rogue
Paladin.
rogue paladin. That's like
It's an interesting mix.
blows my mind.
You don't.
It
It's
does well.
Yeah,
Too.
it's surprisingly well, and it's surprisingly like you wouldn't think. Oh, Rogue Paladin. You don't think those would
Well, 'cause,
ever
like,
work together.
when you think
but
about
then-
rogue ranger like Vex did, that makes sense.
Yeah, but he did Rogue Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you would think like the standard like fighter monks kind of make a little bit of sense, and like you can do even barbarian fighter and or bard sorcerer or something like that. But Rogue Paladin, it's so
Bard Sorcerer is a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
would love to play Bard Sorcerer.
it's interesting because it's just like I can actually like bards. You don't usually see them as like fighters and stuff, but like with that sorcerer stuff, you can kind of get a little creative. You can get a little creative with
You can
like
get
the mix
super creative.
with the mix of a bard and sorcerer. Oh, dude, the possibilities
Anyway.
are endless.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Project Deicide. I'm excited to find out.
What do you think it is?
Yeah. What do you
like,
think
give me a
it
guess.
is?
Like,
Yeah.
So obviously it has to do something with the gods,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and learning that the Dominus is he follows the teachings of the deep. He doesn't necessarily know about them, but he just
He knows it. He
instinctively just follows them. It is interesting how I'm guessing he just has a nice plan.
A nice plan to kill all the gods.
Especially if the Raven Queen is his wife, and his wife is like, fuck them other gods, and he's like, yeah, fuck them gods. You know what? Because I'm fucking
with a guy like the Dominus, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Hey."
Literally, do you know what's hilarious? Like you were in there, and I was like, this is what Project Deus Head means, and you're like, that doesn't even surprise me. And I was just like, I've made this character who he should be then.
Basically, the Dominus.
That doesn't even shock me. Of course he does.
The Dominus is just like, look, I've conquered a lot of things, but I think the biggest thing to really conquer is conquering the gods. So if I just conquer them, I will become the most powerful being. Because, you can do Titans too, but, just having the fact that, I beat the gods.
Yeah.
That's what has the more biggest clout than I've killed a god?
I've killed possibly multiple gods if this plan goes through. That is...
it's not his anymore.
It's not his anymore, but it's someone else's, and we don't exactly know whose it is. The only one who kind of has a semblance of who may have stole it could have possibly been Edwin, because he's kind of seen who they are, but he hasn't disclosed that with the group yet.
Yeah.
Right? He knew about your brother dying, kind of.
Yeah.
But
fuck my brother.
But fuck Xeon.
Not my actual brother. I love my brother.
Yeah.
Xeon.
Which
fuck
also
Xeon.
Which just makes this burial funeral
I
thing
can't
that we have
wait.
coming up so much more.
I cannot wait. I'm kind of excited.
I'm
kind of glad
excited.
that we've had a little bit of time to
settle in.
Well, just like a break for me to reevaluate how Zion's kind of approaching this. Because at first it was very fuck this, I hate this, God, nope, screw this, get out of here.
Because at first you were not very adamant on going, because you were like, I'd rather not, but
I would rather not, I'm still in that mindset of I'd rather not go.
But it's so interesting to see what possibilities can come from going, though. And imagine in story, you're like, I hate my family, I get that, but this man, my mentor, the only person that I kind of considered to be more of a father to me than my actual father, is telling me to go.
100%.
It's just like that in terms of character. It's like it's conflicting, because it's like I don't want to go back, but I
That's
miss
exactly
him.
where I am. It's
And
exactly where I am.
I know shit's gonna hit the fan too.
He's
probably gonna die. He's probably gonna hit with some stray firebolt, and he's gonna die in your arms. He's gonna be like, you were like a son to me," and he just dies. And I'm gonna be like, yeah. Now this is D&D. This is good.
This is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing. Nothing may happen, but this is D&D.
I am very excited to I'm just excited. I'm very excited.
I've been excited since I heard burial service. We're going to the burial service, and I was like,
I'm still wondering how you guys are gonna get there.
Yeah. Well, the only one who really knows where it is Zion, and at this point Zion's like, I don't want to go, so I'm not gonna tell you.
No,
you could do that though. You could go that route. It is your character. He doesn't want to go back, so why would he go back?
Yeah, but deep down I think he wants to go see his mentor.
He was like a dad that you never had, because your other dad was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I also kind of
there's so much.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I'm very excited.
I think that's a good place
on that
to end.
note.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the 50/50 Take It or Leave It podcast. We'll see you in the next one.